Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Thursday update recorded on the 14th of November. Incoming low pressure, incoming cold change, followed by a warmer change and more high pressure and westerlies. So let's take a look and see what's happening. High pressure is parked out here to the east around the Chatham Islands, in fact further to the east of the Chathams, so now even they have got the northerly flow that the rest of the country has. Low pressure is coming in this evening. It'll move over the South Island and parts of the North Island from tonight and into tomorrow, and you can see very clearly that northerly flow in front of it, and it's dragging up this colder southerly behind it, and that's what is coming in for the South Island as we go through Friday. Here is the 72-hour rainfall. This goes from 6 p.m. tonight through till 6 p.m. on Sunday. The timestamp is here in the bottom left-hand corner. So you can see as we come into 6 o'clock tonight, you can see the heavy blobs of rain here. Let's now animate the next couple of days, and you'll notice that as we go through into Friday, that's when you see that burst of heavy rain around the North Island. By Saturday, the southerly comes up with those showers, and as we go through into Sunday, most of those showers clear away. Some of them curve around here just to the very top of the country. A couple of showers also at the top part of the South Island. Otherwise, most places are dry as we go through Sunday, and cooler as well, thanks to that southerly change that arrived the day before on Saturday. So let's break that down for you a little more. Here we are at 1 p.m. on Friday. You can see this band of heavy downpours tracking from Northland to around Taranaki, Manawatu. I said yesterday that line there, that green yellow line on the western North Island, could move up and down a little bit north or south as it actually comes on through. So there'll be a line of downpours or a bit of rain in that area as it moves on through. Not a lot for the eastern side of the country. And in the South Island, that southerly comes through. That does drive in some wet weather to the eastern side, but for the most part, not a huge amount. But I'm sure it'll be very welcome as we come into parts of Canterbury, especially mid to northern Canterbury. Small bit of low pressure still left over from that system. That means there's a wee bit of instability. As we go through to 1 p.m. Saturday, you can certainly see the cooler change coming up and right across the South Island. So like I said yesterday, a light dusting of snow along the mountains and the ranges higher up. And then it comes into the North Island into the afternoon. Most of that showery weather, though, is in the southern part of the island or the eastern part. There will still be some showers in the west, but most of it is sort of pulling out to the east, and that's due to the next high that is kind of bulldozing it all away. And speaking of that high, 1 o'clock on Sunday, middle of the day, in it comes. So pretty much Sunday is a settled day. Now, we mentioned those showers before around the top part of the country, coming up and sort of curving around. You can see those around Coromandel, Great Barrier Island, maybe going into the eastern side of Northland. Otherwise, the North Island is mainly dry or completely dry. A couple of showers in the northwestern corner might bubble up into the afternoon around the Nelson Ranges, Marlborough Ranges as well. But it's a cold start. This is Sunday morning, risk of a frost, and right across the South Island, mostly inland. I mean, it's inland and higher elevations. So you've got to be 100 or 200 meters above sea level to kind of feel it. But you can certainly see that's quite a widespread cold morning. It doesn't affect too many people in the sense of it being a serious problem, but vineyards around central Otago, maybe around Marlborough, keep an eye on it. And colder conditions also coming in around the North Island, although a bit of a breeze may just keep most coastal areas a few degrees warmer than the South Island. So here we are on Monday. The high already is disappearing out to the east over the top of the Chathams, and that brings in a northerly flow for many parts of the country, but it's this nor'wester in the South Island that'll be most noticeable. So after your miserable temperatures on Saturday in the southern half of the South Island, by the time you reach Monday, you could be warmer than many parts of the North Island as that windy nor'wester out of Australia in the subtropics starts to move on through. And on Tuesday, the next cold front arrives. We're in spring. This is what happens. And so you spring up and down with the temperatures. Windy nor'westers coming up to the central parts of the country, the lower North Island. There'll be gales in there. Heavy rain returns to Fiordland and a bit of spillover coming into Westland as that front moves northwards. And there won't be a huge amount for Southland, you'll be pleased to know, but you do get a little bit. And there's another surge here on Wednesday as winds, generally speaking, around the country tilt more west and then southwest and get a little cooler. Now, if you're wanting some settled weather, keep an eye on that high pressure zone as we go into next week. It may well start to really dominate. We've got a few more days to go just yet before we can lock that in. So we'll have more information clearly next week about that. Now, before I go, going up to Indonesia, just north of Darwin, and we've got this volcano erupting at the moment. It is producing this gigantic ash cloud. Now, if you just glance at that and you don't really recognize Indonesia, I'm one of those people, it doesn't necessarily look huge. But check this out. What you're seeing here in this line of ash is basically like seeing a line of ash starting in Wellington and going all the way up to the top of the far north of the North Island. So this is a several 100-kilometre long ash cloud that is visible. It could carry on for many more kilometres beyond that, not quite as visible on the satellite maps. This is a deadly eruption, and it's already causing flight problems between New Zealand and Australia going in towards Bali. So flights, Air New Zealand and Qantas flights going to Bali have been cancelled and affected by this. They were yesterday, Wednesday, and this has been erupting now for a couple of weeks. So we may be seeing more flight disruptions off and on, depending on which way the trade winds here are blowing. This ash cloud could move up and down all over the place, but at the moment, quite a steady stream to the west and heading over to places like Jakarta and other major centres. So worth keeping an eye on, as I say, just north to northwest of Darwin in Australia, up there in Indonesia. That's all from me. Programming note, we're not here tomorrow, we've got commercial commitments, but we're back again on Monday of next week. We'll see you then.